Here we are for part 2 of this week's segment of Backpage Blues. I'm still joined by Charlie Skillen from the Mail Online.
How are you, mate? Comfy?
All good, actually. Yeah, very comfortable. This is a part of the show where we answer your questions. So firstly, thank you very, very much for sending them in. We've read loads of your questions and we've basically randomly selected a few to answer. So I suppose I should get the ball rolling. I'm going to start with Daniel Henderson. Daniel Henderson wants to know, do you think that we should re-sign Kevin De Bruyne?
In a word, no.
No.
And it certainly won't happen with Mourinho in charge. Mourinho's not a fan of him. If Mourinho was a fan, he'd still be at Chelsea, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Mourinho was not impressed with his attitude that kind of half year that he was in charge of him. That's why he didn't get a game. And while he is doing well now, you know, the Premier League's vastly different to the Bundesliga. You know, he's obviously a man that's very talented. He's a very talented player, but I don't think he's a Chelsea player.
All wonderful reasons, but I have an even stronger reason as to why Kevin De Bruyne should not be signed by Chelsea again.
Why's that?
That's because anyone who was at Swindon away in the Cup, I think it was when Marco van Ginkel broke his leg, perhaps.
Very sad.
But anyone that was at that game would be appalled to think that Kevin De Bruyne will come back to the club. He was terrible, he didn't touch the ball, and he ignored the fans. He did not clap the fans off. No. So I'm absolutely no friend of the KDB. But we move on.
Varun Joshi, massive friend of the show.
Varun! Big fan of Varun Joshi.
He's big fans of us, so that works out well. Chelsea coming to the United States for their pre-season tour. He wants to know if you're going to be there.
I am. There's rumours, I don't think anything's been absolutely finalised with regards to our pre-season tour. If it has, actually, if you guys know that it has, will you comment and let me know? I know that we're apparently playing Manchester United, Barcelona in Detroit, and I will absolutely be there if that game does go ahead. But there's also rumour about Australia, so if you guys are aware, let us know, because I will go wherever the pre-season is, for sure. Fingers crossed it's somewhere lush.
I've heard Margate.
Yeah. Kingstonian, like when I was a kid. The JMO8, he wants to know, are you worried about when John Terry retires?
Well, of course, he's the greatest Chelsea defender ever, I think, by a mile. He's still the best defender in the Premier League. And no matter who we sign, doesn't matter if we sign Varane, doesn't matter how pleased we are with Zuma, doesn't matter, if we still think Cahill can do a job, losing Terry is going to be a massive, massive blow. And I think Mourinho's already preparing for that, even when it happens in 1-2 years' time.
It's terrifying. It's a terrifying prospect, actually, which is why I'm so desperate for a player like Ruben Loftus-Cheek to do well, because we need somebody in the first team who understands the fibre of the football club, who understands what it means to be Chelsea. Yeah. And without John Terry, I'm not sure there's anybody else in that team who fully understands what it means to be one of us. So really, really keeping my fingers crossed that Ruben Loftus-Cheek comes through and can take on that baton from Terry.
Actually, on the subject of youth players, Jadam Behan wants to know, is there anyone out on loan that you would bring into the first team next season?
Patrick Bamford.
Yeah.
I think Patrick Bamford deserves a chance. I don't think it will happen. I think that he'll probably go on loan to a Premier League team. Stay at Borough if Borough get promoted, which is looking likely. Yeah. But to be honest, if the decision was mine, and it probably should be, but if the decision was mine, I would have him in the first team. I would have him in the first team. Yeah. I would have him I would have him doing the Didier Drogba role of this season, so the third choice striker.
I mean, interestingly, we reported recently that Bamford actually was earmarked for that role until the possibility of bringing Drogba back came up this summer.
Bamford was earmarked for it last season?
Yeah, so last summer, Bamford was going to be the third choice striker behind Costa and Remy, and then it became clear that Mourinho wanted a bit more experience because Lampard was off.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, if it was in the offing last season, and for circumstances that beyond Bamford's control, it didn't happen. After the season that Bamford has had, it's looking very likely that it should. I mean, he's only made his case stronger to go into the first team.
The only thing that will stop it is if Bamford and Mourinho both think that he's going to be better served by getting more game time. Now that would certainly happen,
right?
Especially
so it's whether Bamford thinks it as well.
Yeah, of course. He'll have a. Obviously it won't ultimately be his choice. But
what do you think? Would you have him at Chelsea playing the old Carling Cup game, or would you?
I'd love him. I'd love him to be part of the first team squad. I think he deserves that chance. Having said that, especially if Middlesbrough go up, I think. It's also, he's massively their first choice striker. He's been a massive, massive part of their season. He's been their best player.
Yeah. So and Karanka's Jose's mate.
Well, exactly. So if Borough go up, then I think probably the best thing to do would be to have Bamford as their leading first-choice striker in the
He'd
Premier
be their
League.
number 9. He
Yeah.
would be playing every week in, week out.
Exactly.
And if that goes well,
Then who knows?
sounds good. I suppose this should be our last question. It's from Omar Farouk. Omar, thank you very much for your question. This is very, very sore. Do you think it was a mistake selling Juan Mata, Charlie?
I love Juan Mata.
I love Juan
I
Mata.
think everyone that loves football loves Juan Mata. Doesn't matter who you support. You know, Man United fans absolutely love him. Chelsea fans loved him when he was at Stamford Bridge. I think you've only got to see the reception he was given, and the welcoming he got from the players at the end of the game on Saturday to see what a great character he is to have at a club. I think.
Look,
I would like to see him kind of fight for his place a bit more last season.
Yeah.
It was a bit of an obvious one where he wasn't getting in the team. We got an astronomical fee from Man United.
And I think it's very difficult to label it a mistake. Is what the question that Omar has eloquently asked is: was it a mistake? And I think it's as much as we're both of the persuasion that it was sad to see him go. I'm not convinced that you can label it a mistake when we're going to win the league and we've won a Carling Cup. Mistake? It's probably not a mistake.
It's more sad than a mistake.
Yeah, it's sad. It's circumstance. If in another scenario, Mata would be a Chelsea legend and play for the club for 15 years. Yeah. It's just a shame. But a mistake.
He won the Champions League, so he is a Chelsea legend.
Absolutely, that's my argument. Absolutely. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and make sure you comment, let us know exactly what you think of this. If you like it, give us a thumbs up, really appreciate that, and get your questions in because I will be asking them to Charlie next week. Cheers for watching.
See you
Go on
then.
you Blues.